A chasm yawns, dark and deep. Its edges are rough, scarred by fire and cruelty. At the bottom, ashes mingle with bone, a silent testament to unspeakable horror. This is no ordinary grave. It is the story of the people of the ditch, the Ashab al-Ukhdud. History whispers of a time when a powerful king ruled a prosperous land. Blinded by his own might, he demanded absolute obedience and worship. Into this world of opulent cruelty walked a sorcerer, a man of dark knowledge and questionable motives. One day a young boy, an apprentice to the sorcerer, stumbled upon something extraordinary. The boy's conversion enraged the sorcerer, who had long held sway over the kingdom with his dark arts. He saw his influence over the king threatened, fearing the loss of his power and control. Fearful and enraged, the king ordered the boy to be brought before him, determined to crush this newfound faith. Standing before the king, the boy remained calm, his eyes reflecting a serene confidence. He spoke with quiet conviction, urging the king to abandon his wicked ways and embrace the truth, his voice unwavering. The court watched in stunned silence as the boy, barely a teenager, dared to defy their all-powerful ruler, his courage inspiring awe. The king demanded the boy renounce his faith or face the dire consequences. The boy, however, refused with a determined look. Infuriated beyond measure, the king ordered the boy's immediate execution, his fury knowing no bounds. Yet even as he fell, he continued to speak of his faith, his words carried by the wind like seeds scattered upon the earth, destined to take root and grow.
Keep quiet, please.
The king, consumed by rage and blinded by his own arrogance and fear, unleashed a reign of terror upon his own people. His soldiers burned homes, terrorized villages, and attacked innocent civilians without mercy. He imprisoned those who followed the boy's teachings, subjecting them to torture and hardship. The dungeons were filled with cries of pain and suffering. He hoped to crush the spirit of the people, to make them too afraid to resist his will. The villagers were demoralized, their faces etched with despair and hopelessness. Yet the more the king persecuted the believers, the stronger their faith seemed to grow. They gathered in secret, praying together, their unity unbroken. The boy continued to preach, his words spreading like wildfire throughout the kingdom. His message of hope and resilience resonated deeply with the oppressed. The king announced that he would release all the prisoners and cease his persecution if the boy renounced his faith publicly. It was a desperate attempt to regain control. The boy, faced with an impossible choice, retreated into prayer, seeking guidance in this moment of profound crisis. He knew the fate of many rested on his decision. The boy, guided by his unwavering faith, knew he could not betray his beliefs, even to save innocent lives. His heart was heavy, but his resolve was unbreakable. He understood the gravity of his decision and the consequences it would bring. He returned to the king and with a heavy heart refused his offer. The court fell silent, the air thick with tension and disbelief. The boy's eyes met the king's, and in that moment he knew there was no turning back. Furious, the king ordered the execution of all those who followed the boy's teachings. His rage was palpable, and his orders were carried out with ruthless efficiency. A vast ditch was dug outside the city, filled with fire and burning sulfur. The flames roared, a terrifying testament to the king's wrath and the impending doom for the faithful. Men, women, and children were driven towards the inferno, their only crime their faith. They walked with heads held high, their spirits unbroken despite the horror that awaited them. Among them was a young mother, clutching her infant child. Her eyes were filled with fear, but also with a fierce determination to protect her baby at all costs. The boy, witnessing her terror, offered words of comfort and encouragement. He spoke of hope, of a better world beyond the flames, and his words gave her strength. Strengthened by his words, the young mother took a deep breath and leapt into the fiery abyss. Her child held tightly in her arms. Her courage was a beacon of light in the darkness. One by one the believers followed, their faith unshaken, their voices joined in prayer as flames consumed them. Their prayers echoed through the inferno, a testament to their unwavering belief. The people of the ditch perished that day, but their story lived on. Their sacrifice became a symbol of unyielding faith and courage, inspiring generations to come.